Thank you, everyone that has joined us today on this special episode of Dizzaster Gaming, episode 6. Um, we have a message to send out to everyone. This message has affected everyone in this hangout as of late, and it has affected a lot of people globally. So, without further ado, and me rambling on, we'll just cut to the video. Spaz, cut to the video.
So many heartfelt moments has been thrown into this beta, and now it has come to an end. For $60, for one day, you could give this game a home on September 9th. No one wants to be alone. Don't let this happen to you. So many people were hit. We all feel this man's pain. But will you let this happen to you? You could change that. Please do. I knew I was
Oh, shit. That was great. Of course. It's your boy, Tommy Dizzaster.
That shit.
Just turn it off. It's your boy,
What up,
Tommy
everybody? We are back
at
with all the technical fuck-ups. I'm Spaz.
After a little hiatus, we are back at it.
What's up, everybody?
It's, of course...
Who's got it playing now?
Is it still going?
Is it?
It's on someone else's side. Oh man, see, this is what happens when we take a break.
Oh,
Rhino. I think that was Rhino. But
I don't know. I haven't had YouTube up, so it wasn't me. But anyways, it's your boy Tommy Dizzaster back at you with my boy Rhino and Spaz. After a little hiatus with Dizzaster Gaming, we had to bring it back to you. We just had to. It was inevitable.
It's just a mini vacation, that's all.
That's all. And tonight's topic, of course, is gonna be the most popular thing going around the gaming universe, and that is the Destiny beta. Who played it? What experiences we got from it?
this guy, a lot of good experiences. I experienced a lot of stuff with strangers, with friends. I'm speechless. For the first time, the guy who cannot shut the hell up is speechless.
Which is very surprising. Very, very surprising. So, I think everyone that's watching initially wants to know our thoughts on it. What we initially thought about it when we first started playing the game. What we think about it after the beta has gone and left us, sadly, until September 9th. So, what we can do is start off with my boy, Rhino. What did you think when you first booted this bitch up?
Initial thoughts, graphics-wise, was amazing. Obviously, from all the trailers, hype, and everything going into it, got high expectations, high hopes for it. And I was not disappointed throughout the time I played the beta. I thought the inventory system's there, the combat system's there, the leveling system's there. To me, it just seems like a mashup of all these best components of other games bundled into one. Which
All right.
We'll go more. We'll break it down a little bit more after you guys do what you want to do for your opening thoughts.
Okay, what was your opening thoughts there, Spaz Testicles?
Well, first of all, as we mentioned in other episodes before, we had a certain goal where we was going to try each class, see how they affected the game in their own little ways. We'll get into that as well, but I had to had to play as the hunter first because that's just my style. I like to snipe. I like to melee. I'm either up close or very far away. I'm never in between. I'm never in the shit. When I started off with hunter, phenomenal. I love the skill traits for them. I love the looks of them. The weapons really don't matter because you can have any weapon as any class or race. Graphics, like Rana said, are very phenomenal, especially for a beta where you was expecting the choppiness. This has been by far the best playing beta that I have ever tried out, without any glitches. Do you agree?
Well, my initial thoughts, first off, when I just booted it up, presentation-wise is very excellent. You can definitely, for me anyway, in my opinion, you could definitely feel that there's a Halo-esque to it. You know what I mean? It's like Bungie can't make a game with some semblance of Halo in it. Now, don't get me wrong, even though those core components are Halo-ish, they definitely have stumbled onto something that's great, and this game could really have a lot of longevity to it, and I think it's going to, with obviously the Season Pass and all this DLC, if they do it right. Now, I know they're partnered with Activision and everything, but we'll get into that later. But my initial thoughts, graphics are amazing, which very, very much so completely surprised me, because the game, this beta, apparently from some interviews I've seen through GameSpot and websites like that, it was an early beta build, like before they even started the PS4 beta, and that beta build that was running on Xbox One, which everyone here was playing on, was only running at 900p, and the final product is going to be 1080p, and it still looked phenomenal. So, I mean, gameplay, I love it. It's a very well blended first-person shooter, RPG, MMO-esque game. So, just initial thoughts, amazing. Game of the year, in my opinion, and it isn't even out yet. Like you said, one of the best betas that I've ever tried. Of course, I haven't tried a lot of betas on the console, but I've been through my slew of betas on PC, and I think it was really solid, really good. Didn't have any kind of lag whatsoever. Very little connection problems other than I think the last 2 days maybe. There were some issues, but I got those sorted out. But other than that, I thought it was great.
That's one thing I got to chime in on. For being a beta, no glitches, no lag, no connection issues, except one day they had maintenance and I got error code Viper, which I know we've each come across a different error code. Tommy got Centipede and Spaz got Stinkbug. So.
I'm not kidding. Like, what the heck? But other than that, though, it was a beta. That's exactly what it was. And they even told you in the bottom left-hand screen that you may experience crashes and stuff like that. So, like, they was very honest about it. And I tell you what, they maintain... The people at Bungie or whoever's in charge of the servers are doing a great job thus far. Just on a beta alone, they maintain the servers very well. The events are not too far in between either. It's not too long, but it's not too close to each other where, oh, I just did an event. Let's go back to the town. Oh, never mind. I'm stuck in another event again. They spread it out very well. I have a great experience overall. I'm going to rate it like a 9 out of 10 right off, just for it being a beta.
I can tell you this. In my opinion, they could release that bitch right now, and it would blow anything that's out now out of the water. And it's just in beta form. Now, when you obviously get into a beta, that's normally what the final product's going to be, with a little bit of tweaks, polishing, and whatnot. But they could release it tomorrow, and it would sell millions. It would blow anything that's out right now or pre-ordered wise out of the water. I can guarantee you.
Right. What did you guys think of, like, overall, though, how, like, the classes worked? And
well, the way I think we should do this, and the way I think we give it justice, we're going to break it down in all its different components. and we'll get to the classes, but we'll start out with the world, the environment itself.
You
What
mean
would you guys
world,
think?
right? Plural.
Yeah, just the map that you're on, the world itself.
Are we talking
I
like
mean, 'cause
scale-wise?
well, I mean, scale, looks, feel, all that, because I kind of, like I said, to me it feels like a mashup of games, and with the world events and things like that, you get kind of the Defiance feel from it with the world events. And I always looked at Defiance as a test for something bigger, and I think Destiny is that something bigger that the Defiance was a test for.
That absolutely.
That's a great way of looking at it too, because I strongly agree with that. Now, if you're going into the world, I do want to start off with scale. Although it is a big map, was you guys thinking it was going to be bigger, smaller, or did it meet your needs? Did it exceed? Did it?
I thought that it was going to be. Go ahead, Ron.
The map size for what it is, while you're playing the mission, I like. It's big. There's a lot to explore and things like that. What kind of irked me, what I thought I was going to get, was where I could leave the tower. I could walk out of the tower and actually travel to my mission. I didn't expect it to be the loading screen straight to the mission, which, I mean, that was a little bit of a disappointment, but it's not a game break for me.
I can tell you, I thought, I feel that the game, or at least the world, what we played on the beta, I feel that it should have been a little bit more, bigger. But for what it is, like you said, it's not a game breaker. I honestly thought, though, it would be a little bit more open world-ish, because you're getting this big painting and this big mural background, but you can't access any of it. You know what I mean? You can see mountains and all this shit, but it's still linear. Yeah, it's still linear. You know what I mean? There's still a breaking point to where you jump off of somewhere and you die, the problem is it's misleading, because it doesn't look like, oh, I'm just gonna jump down here and go, but you die. It makes you think that you're not gonna die, but you really do. Now I don't know if that's just because it was a beta and they don't want people going too far in the map, or if that's actually how it is. But that's
I'm gonna get into that in a second, so keep going. But I do have something about that to add on. But
okay. But I honestly thought that they were going to be making it a little bit more open worldish. I thought maybe Skyrim. That's what I thought I was going to get. But I mean, for what it is, it's a shooter and it's RPG and it's story driven. So I understand that they still want to tell a story like Halo is. You know what I mean? Bungie is very good at telling a story very linear, but this one's at a much bigger scale. You know what I mean? If you look at Skyrim, it's more of almost an MMO type feeling. You know what I mean? You can go do what you want. You don't even have to follow a storyline or take a quest, which you can still do that, but no one really wants to in Destiny. You want to always be doing a mission or the multiplayer. You know what I mean? But for what it is, I agree. I mean, it doesn't break the game for me. I'm buying this shit day one.
Absolutely, me too. Now, going into that though, I know there was definitely parts in that where I would go into a certain area, and we all have, and I know every player had this problem, is there's certain parts where it feels like you've been there before, but you go down in a basement, and then like there's these couple areas that we hit too personally, where there's these knights down there, and there you got question marks for ranks, and it's like, oh, okay, what the heck is this? Then you shoot them, they're immune, nothing can kill them, and I don't know if that's going to be in a game where you have to go back after you get so far in the game, or you're going to have to come back when you're a really high level to get there, or is that just something that the beta was put in place where, like, okay, wait, this is an unfinished area, we don't want you down here, or this is something that we want to keep secret until you get the game, because there's probably something super awesome down there. And that's what I was going to ask you guys. Do you feel, is it A, where it's unfinished and they're working on that, or do you think it's B, where it's something secret and they're trying to keep you out of there for a reason?
I would go more with B, and I say that because I've watched videos on YouTube where people have actually gotten inside of there by just, kind of having one person distract the enemies while the other one just runs straight through before they get one-shotted. And I can tell you, in one of the caves, there is a big, gigantic-ass ogre boss down there. So these areas are finished. You can reach them, but they just made the enemies so powerful they one-shot you.
Nice. Okay.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily unfinished, because I think the game is complete. What I think is, like what Ryan said, they put these blockades in the way to keep you from that. Now, whether that's actually going to be in the game at that level, or if they actually put that there because they didn't want you to go in there in the beta, is debatable. I'm hoping that they just put it there for the beta. They don't want you in there to look at that shit. But you never know. I hope it's not to where they're question marks and you have to be a certain level to get in there, because then it's really going to take away from the open world ness from the game, in my opinion.
Not exactly, because it adds replayability at that point. You have to go get to level 20 or whatever them question marks were. The rumor is level 20, though, and then come back to it. So you're getting the replay value of having to come back to it. But then, like what you're hitting at is you don't want to do all the backtracking, is what I'm assuming.
Right. Either the backtracking, but also, why do that if your fire team can only be 3? Like, if I'm on there and you guys aren't on there, and I see that I have to be a certain level, and I want to really go through this area, I'm going to have to level up. Everyone's going to be leveling up at a different rate. You know what I mean? So I think it's stupid if they would put it there to where it's level-based, especially if you can go in with 3 people, at least. Because you can go in with more than that. You can go in with, the random people that's in their own fire group and go through this stuff as a huge clan, I guess. So I wouldn't. I hope it's not level based. I hope it's not, because it's really going to take away from the multiplayer aspect.
Right. You definitely hit a nerve with me on that one. I'm going back to what you said when you started that out, is the party size. That's one thing I'm not excited about, is 3 people. I mean, it's to me, this game is so large-scaled, and there's so many enemies, that I feel they should definitely hit the bigger party size. I mean, the party size is this, people, for those who have not played the beta. In story mode or exploring mode, you could have a party size of 3 people. That's you and 2 others. But in Crucible, which is your PvP and your death matches and stuff like that, you could have a party size of 6. Where I feel like 6 is definitely a better number, because I think they should have 6 people in a party size for both modes. And that's just how I feel about it. I don't know if you guys agree, but that's definitely something that if they definitely want our feedback, that's my major feedback, is party size and trading. I don't feel there's much interaction between players with each other either. Trading is definitely a big thing I look for in MMOs or RPGs, or even first-person shooters. Like, I like playing as a team, and say if I have a weapon, and say Rhino here don't have that weapon, but he likes that weapon, I'm obviously going to drop that weapon on the ground and be like, there you go, have at it. I like the fact that you should be able to interact with your group, so that way everyone is battle ready for all situations.
It's kind of like everything's what's that called? BOP, bind on pickup. It's kind of like everything's automatically bind on pickup in this one.
I can see why they did it, though, because, if I go through and I do all this hard work with all this weaponry and whatnot, I can go ahead then and give Ryan all my lower level gear that was really top tier gear at that level whenever he gets to that level. That way he doesn't really have to go through and grind to get that gear. You know what I mean? So it's almost like, what are you playing the game for?
I feel you on that one. However, that's your choice. If you want to give up that gear, that's your choice. You could either sell that gear, make some glimmer, which is the currency in the game, or help a friend out, and that's teamwork.
But is it really going to be friend driven? You know what I mean? We know how people play games. It's going to be a lot of spamming, is what it is. A lot of people cheating in a sense. I feel anyway. But going back to the hell was you talking about? The player group. At first, I didn't really like it. I thought three, my goodness, three players really in a party? That's lame as shit. But considering the enemies that you fight, you're pretty powerful. You know, especially if you're running three. I mean, you got to think about it. That's three people coming with superpowers, three people coming with grenades, three people coming with guns, three people coming with special weapons. I mean, if you think of it that way, I think three is a solid number.
And it's not like any game you play on a computer where you're sitting there going, I need a tank, I need a healer. It's not set up like that. So you don't need that big party size to play roles. Everybody does everything, pretty much.
Yeah. If you think about the special powers, we got Titan. He does a ground pound, but it pretty much does the same thing as what a Warlock's power does, except a Warlock throws a ball of magic and blows people up.
Let me stop you there.
You know what I mean?
Here's how I explain it to Rhino, and I think I made a good point, and I made him understand, because the powers where it comes, just like Titan has a ground pound, which is obviously your up close and personal. That's your tanking ability right there. You know, you could draw them in, you could defeat a big crowd. And the Warlock does have almost the same thing, but that's more of your ranged crowd control, where you can kind of be a little further back, you could throw that splash down. And then your Hunter is mainly your high damage, single target, but Rhino did clarify that more you upgrade that golden gun ability, you could actually take out crowds with it. And I noticed that too, because it's called, I can't remember, but you can penetrate. If there's an enemy behind an enemy, it will go through them and blow them both up. But they all have their special little trait, but it's not to the point where, okay, we're three of us, we all have to be separate classes. We could all be
right, exactly. We can all be Titans if we really wanted to. It doesn't off-balance anything.
Which is nice, because you're not sitting there, like I said before, like if you play World of Warcraft, you got to have the healer, you got to have the tank. You don't have to sit there and be told what to pick.
Well, like Spaz said before, you're not pigeonholed into one role. You know what I mean? If Ryan decides to be a Warlock, I don't have to be like, oh shit, I gotta be a tank, I gotta be a Titan rather, just so I can offset everything and we're balanced. You don't have to do that. I mean, you can to have a better, more universal team, but you don't necessarily have to. We can all three be Warlocks if we wanted to. Yeah.
Warlock!
Well, another thing is, let's talk about the subclasses. I think me and Ryan know more about the Warlock subclasses, which is, I think, Sunsinger, but they didn't let us play that in the beta. I'm sure whoever played it knows that. At least Xbox people didn't. I don't know about PlayStation 4 people, but we didn't get to play that. I'm very interested about the subclasses, because I don't know if there's going to be more than one subclass or not.
There's going to be two right off the bat. We know that.
Say that again.
There's going to be two right off the bat. We know that, because the Warlock has the Sunstrider and the Voidwalker. What I'm curious to see is how different the Sunstrider is from the Voidwalker. Is it
You mean
the same?
Sunsinger?
Sunsinger.
Right. I played the Hunter mostly, and the subclass for the Hunter looks very appealing to me, because whenever we play a game, I really like to be stealthy, kind of. I'm going to attack people from the back, and that definitely looks like something that the Hunter's going to be able to do. Starting off... What?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Huh?
What were you saying? Go ahead.
Fuck you, Warlock. I meant Warlock. Anyways, no, the Hunter has, I can't remember his name, but basically he's more melee driven, and he could actually go stealth, and he has the ability to have more throwing knives. So you could be very ranged or close up in melee with more melee powers and faster melee attacks, which is great. So he can kind of do two things. Now, I'm very interested in that subclass, not the one that was in the beta, which is still good too, but it's more golden gun driven.
So what do you think it is, though? Since you've had experience there, do you think more people's going to go towards the OP golden gun? That's what I call it, because multiplayer is, never mind. Let's not get into that right now. But what do you think people are going to go with, the golden gun class or the other one?
I think they're going to mainly go with the golden gun because just the beta alone, the hunter's my favorite class. I didn't even get to try the other subclass.
Well, it wasn't available.
Right, because you have to be a level 15 or something like that. But you have to start.
What was it called again?
I don't remember the name. I can't tell you. I would be more
What
than
the hell?
I'd be more than happy to access the beta. However, they fucking ended it. No, fucking Yes, though it's. I think they're going to go for the golden gun more, especially if they're going to go PvP. But
you know what? Good.
I barely use the golden gun in PvP. Really,
I was just gonna say that. I mean, as much as I think it's overpowered as a superpower, I didn't see a lot of it in the multiplayer, in the competitive multiplayer. But when I did, I was like, oh, you motherfuckers!
I got killed with it. I got killed with it a lot. I've seen it a lot in multiplayer. I've come across matches where I played against entire teams that were nothing but hunters. So
damn.
Yeah, they're definitely out there.
I tell you what, it is great in PvP too to be able to do that because when you have to take someone down, you see your shields dropping, and you have that supercharged mode. Go in it. The thing is, though, you can still die just at the regular rate. So it doesn't give you, like, invincibility or anything like that. You just basically have to be quick about it, hurry up and shoot them and stuff like that. And it's a one-shot kill. My favorite, though, personally, from playing as it, is the Warlock ability in PvP. That's the greatest thing because most of the PvP, you have to control zones. You get that big group in the zone stuff. You just freaking go supercharge. You throw that down and stuff, and you kill every single one of their team and stuff. And I've seen Rhino do that. It's phenomenal.
I got some footage of me doing that. We'll see if we can get that up on YouTube soon.
One thing I like about the golden gun too is because it's so short of duration, they do have this ability where throwing knives, if you do get a throw knife kill while you're in golden gun, it will extend it, which is awesome. Now, if there's a way that you can instantly have a cooldown for your knife, that's going to make it truly OP. And that's me when I'm basically sticking up for the hunter, but I think that's going to make it OP because they're basically going to be in golden gun the whole time.
Well, not to interrupt you here, but I'm just looking at on Reddit. It looks like the hunter's subclasses so far, what we know of through the beta, is Gunslinger, which is what everyone played as, which their super is Golden Gun. The second one is called Blade Dancer. And their super move is Arc Blade. You can charge your blade with Arc Light and consume your foes with lightning. That sounds fucking badass. I do gotta say.
I will be doing that to people. Because most of my kills, you can ask Rhino, I do like to throw that knife, and it pisses people off so much. And I kind of wish the knife would actually stay like after it's thrown, because me and you told me we was planning to explore, and I threw the knife at a door just for kicks and giggles, and it actually stuck in the door, but wasn't in there long enough. And I kind of like the small detail like that.
Oh yeah,
it's fucking awesome.
I think all three of us like the small details of games like that. It shows more appreciation. You know what I mean?
As far as abilities go, here's the two questions I have. First one is, every class, if you look at the very last ability you get, it's called Enlighten, and it locks your subclass. So I'm trying to figure out what is the advantage of locking your subclass so you can't change anything. What exactly happens when you enlighten yourself? Is my first question. My second question is, when you're putting points into these subclasses, can you put points into both subclasses at the same time? Can you take maybe a super from one subclass and a grenade from the other?
I don't think. I'm on Reddit right now still, and I'm just looking at all the other ones, and just with everything that's below, related to each subclass. Oh shit! It looks like everything that's under there is related to that subclass, because like I'm looking at Sunsinger under Warlock, and it looks like they have a solar grenade, firebolt grenade, and a fusion grenade, whereas Voidwalker has vortex grenades, scatter grenades, and axion bolts. So I don't think that we're going to be able to say pick and choose like I want this, this, and this, and this. You know what I mean? I don't think that's going to be it.
But what I'm saying is, if I go down Sunsinger, all the grenades down that one, but then I go over to Voidwalker, and I don't do anything with the grenades, but I go down a whole other tree for the super.
I don't think it's gonna. I don't think they're gonna allow us to do that. Because you're thinking more of an MMO type, you know what I mean, where you can have a hybrid skill tree. I don't think they're gonna allow us to do that. It'd be pretty badass to let us pick and choose and have a hybrid, but I don't think it's gonna be that way. I think we're either gonna have subclass Sunsinger, or we're gonna have a subclass of Voidwalker. I don't think they're gonna allow us to branch out and make our own.
But see, when you can lock your subclass like that, that's what makes me wonder if you can go back and forth like that. Because if you couldn't, what's the point of locking your subclass?
That's a good question. Now, when you're at...
Go ahead.
I noticed you could also do the same thing with weapons. Now, the weapons, when you lock it, it increases the damage of the weapon, but you won't be able to change anything after. So you have to make sure you pick the right accessories that you want. So I'm thinking what it's going to do is when you lock it, it's probably going to give you a gain of like damage or something, to where, yeah, it locks everything, you can't change anything, but your character is going to be more powerful. So before you decide to lock it, you need to pick the right subclass that you want, pick the right grenades, pick the right abilities that you want, and then go from there, and then you lock it, and it's probably going to do that, because, like I said, the weapon that I had, I was able to do that. I leveled out a weapon, maxed out, and I picked a scope that I wanted, or picked something else it gave for it, and then it says, would you like to lock, at the end, I highlighted it, it says it will give a damage boost, but I won't be able to change anything. That's when I got bored with it, because one, it was a pulse rifle anyways. I hate the fucking pulse rifle. It's cool and all, but like I'm more of a scout rifle guy. But it did actually increase the damage, because once I hit that, I noticed everything was like on point. Like it was just, if I shoot you in the fucking face, you're dead, bitch.
All right, well, since we've got the subclasses so far out the way, by the way, if you guys are watching or asking about the Titan, I played the Titan a little bit, but I didn't really get into it that much, so I don't know what the subclasses are. Let me just look it up real quick here on Reddit.
I played the Moose as a Titan.
They have a Striker. It's probably the one that everyone played as a subclass, and they have a Defender. So, I mean, you get the gist of what it is.
I took the Titan.
Basically... Oh, sorry, Ryan, go ahead.
I took the Titan up to level 8, and I kind of get the sense that the Titan and the Warlock's kind of on par with each other. It seems like the Warlock to me is more fun to play.
I can tell you this, I thought I was going to be pigeonholed into Warlock, because at first, Ryan's like, I'm playing Titan, Spaz's like, I'm playing Hunter, I'm like, alright, I'm playing Warlock, but that's the only one that I really enjoyed. I didn't play Hunter much, I think it may be a level 3, but I was just so sucked in to the Warlock that I didn't want to play anything else. It was just, I enjoyed everything about it from what I played with the Warlock, so that's what I'm going to be maining.
I noticed a lot of people like the Warlocks too, because when I was doing the bounties, because you could do bounties too to earn more experience and more loot. One of them was for a Crucible, and it says kill 25 Warlocks in Crucible matchmaking, which it's like, oh, okay, this is class-based. Like, I have to try to do this and try to kill these Warlocks. It's not just kill Guardians, it's kill fucking Warlocks. So, like, and then I noticed, I was like, man, I haven't seen one fucking Warlock. I got in a Crucible with that, and I was like, I'm in a room full of freaking Warlocks. Of course, I didn't get that bounty, because they kept blowing my ass up.
You be sucking, son. But anyway, since we've talked about that, let me see what else we could talk about. Why don't we talk about the customization? And we could just delve into customization, whether it's gun, character, whatever. Coloring, dyeing, pretty much of the not weapons, but the armor.
I would have to say, as it stands right now, that is one aspect of the game that I'm actually disappointed in. I didn't think that the customization was in-depth enough as far as the character goes, and especially as far as the gun goes. I'd actually like to be able to go a little more of what Call of Duty and Battlefield and stuff has, is where I can change different aspects of my gun. I can go and buy a scope to put on it, put a different magazine on it, different buttstock, whatever. I think that would be awesome. I don't know if it's just because the beta and they didn't put all of that in, or if that's exactly how it's going to be. I just think it's lacking in that area.
I'm right there with Rhino, actually, because like I said, I did max out one weapon. And the customization, it's basically set in stone what you could do to that weapon. And that's it. There's no, I'm not going to be able to pick up extra parts, which would be awesome. And if you strip down a part, and it's like a green or higher stuff, you get weapon parts, but like, it just says weapon parts. And that just makes no sense to me. It's like, maybe I want to get a scope off of one gun, put it on another. I want a barrel. I need more. And two, the customization for character base too, it feels level restricted, because a lot of the cool stuff, like, you have to be like level 20 for your shaders, and stuff like that.
Well, I did see one that I think you had to be a level 10 for shaders. It was somewhere in the tower. I actually just stumbled upon a merchant there, and if I'm not mistaken, I seen one that was level 10, because I had the glimmer to buy it, but I couldn't obviously buy it
The
because
speaker.
of level.
The speaker had it, I do believe.
No, he might have had one that was class specific, but I seen another one that was around there. But I'm right there with you guys as well. I feel that the customization wasn't all in depth, but it didn't let me down, because I didn't try to get myself hyped for the game. You know what I mean? I waited until we were able to play this before I can really voice my opinion and get excited about it. I had no really information about Destiny up until this point, and I can't say that I was let down, because my expectation really wasn't that high. I definitely feel it should be out of the gate, more options, but to me, for some reason, with my experience with MMOs, it feels like this game, they're really trying to shoot for an MMO feel in terms of customization and buying certain things and being not class specific, but level specific. You know what I mean? It seems like you're gonna have to do a lot of grinding, so to speak, to get things, which is gonna add longevity to the game. It's just that simple. Now, the main people that's going to come in and play it just for the competitive multiplayer, I don't feel that they're going to be around long, and they're not going to appreciate the actual aspect and concept of the game. But I think the people like us, we're going to appreciate that. We're going to want to get this awesome die because we have to go into the Crucible and play a certain way or try to get a certain achievement, so to speak, whatever it's called. Bounty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great point, because I want to say this too. On every RPG MMO that we played, I barely ever go into PvP. If you want to take a break from exploring, and you just like want to play like I want to shoot another player mode, it feels like it's two games in one, actually. Like, it feels like I'm going back into like Call of Duty and Halo, and unlike Rhino, I am somewhat of a fan of Halo, because I like playing matchmaking in Halo, and that's what it felt like to me. I loved it. And then it's like, okay, well, I'm done stacking bodies. I'm gonna go back and play some missions and explore and stuff. And it's like two games in one.
Yeah.
They made it feel like that. They didn't make it feel like, okay, it's one whole game. Here's just a part. No, it feels like instead of me wasting time of taking the game out, I have two games in one. That's how I felt personally. I don't know how you guys feel about it. What about you?
What do you think about it, Ryan?
Like I said before, I think it's a mash of all kinds of games. And I didn't. Spaz mentioned Halo. I couldn't stand Halo. I hated it with a passion.
This motherfucker right here.
Matchmaking, anything to do with it. But to me, I don't get that feel in the PvP.
Oh, you look thirsty. How about some tea?
But yeah, I was getting Halo jump though. That kind of pissed me off a little bit. But I got to say, as far as PvP goes, it felt more like Titanfall to me than Halo.
I did get some Titanfall, and also I don't know if you guys feel this way. The whole game, it felt like a little bit of Borderlands too.
The gun system to me kind of feels like Borderlands, with you can get the random gun from loot pickups.
Mhm.
See, I didn't get that. What honestly, the only game that it really, besides Halo, that it really felt like to me was a game that you guys played pretty religiously, and that was Too Human. In terms of the whole presentation, it felt like storyline wise, it felt very Too Human, and the storyline of Too Human was awesome. But
The,
I kind of got that feel.
the only thing
Too
that
Human.
Too Human does feel like that to me, but it's only as far as the inventory goes. About picking up the armor, putting the armor on, the leggings and the chest pieces and the helmets and things like that. That's what feels Too Human to me. Out of that aspect, it doesn't feel anything like it. And you're right, we did play Too Human religiously, and we was kind of disappointed that it took 9 years to get what we got, but we're still waiting for the sequel.
Maybe it's just the tower, because really that's when the Too Human-esque like really pops in, is whenever I'm in the tower.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now that you mention that, I can see it now. Like thinking back on it.
But as far as, I mean, the game feeling like a whole package, or two games in one, so like you said, Spaz, I feel the same way. I can honestly play Destiny for hours and not feel even a semblance of changing the game because I want to pop Call of Duty in and get a few quick kills. I didn't have to do that. You know, when you're playing Battlefield or you're playing something else and you get tired of the story, what do? Pop it out, put Call of Duty in. Pop it out, put a competitive online game in to get quick kills. But I never got that feeling with Destiny.
No, exactly.
I mean,
And now, I like the fact that too that you are made to explore the area instead of. I notice there's no map system. I mean, certain areas of the tower and stuff, you have the ability to pull up your map, but it's in certain areas, not to where you can just pull up your map and decide, okay, we gotta go this way. I like that because on your way to that, you're not tunnel visioned. You know what I mean? Where you're like, oh, okay, here's where we need to go. Let's just go straight to it. Where no, it's like, okay, I know the general area, but I'm gonna get there, and you find new stuff on your way to that place.
that's not necessarily true, because you know from playing with me, I hit that ghost button, I know where I'm going, I'm tunnel vision there, and you're looking for me, and I'm already at the objective, because I straight line right to it.
Yeah, and I noticed you missed a lot of stuff too because I had to say, dude, check this out, and you had to backtrack and stuff because like, things like that. But to me, with this game and the other games me and you play, this isn't one of those ones where you're as bad because like you will still cross certain points where it's like, oh, that's fucking badass. Check this out, this is a fucking cave. You found fucking what, 5 fucking gold chests or something like that?
Yeah, me and Tommy got the five gold chests for the.
Hey, I got 2. I got a fucking sparrow. I don't give a fuck.
But, I mean, with you, Ryan, this game, I think it's built for you to explore, like Spaz says. That's why, even like when you get all the story missions done and you go back through, you can go in the same area and do different multiple missions or side missions, so to speak. But you don't necessarily, if you pick one, you don't have to go directly to there and I'm doing this mission. Because along the road, along the beaten path, there's going to be enemies. There's going to be random events like the world events. That's going to happen. And you can either A, stay there and do them, or B, just go to the objective. But off topic with that situation, I want to talk about the world events, the ones that did happen. How do you guys feel about it? Myself, I was a little disappointed in it because it's the same one over and over, pretty much. I think they should have had more variety. I think I had 2 different ones, but they weren't spaced apart enough, for me anyways. It just felt like they were a little skimpy on what the objective of the dynamic events or world events were. Do you know what I mean? How many times did me and Ryan run through a world event that was, what was that, the one area, go here, and go here, and then it's over? I ran through that maybe 3 or 4 different occasions where I had one world event to where I had to chase a guy and kill him.
I actually had 3 different events. I had one where, like you said, you had to go here, here, and here. I had the one where you chased a guy, and then I had one where it was a specific zone, one zone where they was trying to drill, and it just had waves upon waves of people coming in. And there's 3 waves and stuff, and it's just they get stronger and stronger and more in there. The events I like because they don't spawn too close together, but they're not too long apart. One thing I did want to talk about too is the enemies.
Well, hold on. What Ryan? What do you have to think about that?
I was just gonna let you know that there was a couple different ones on there because I think I had 3 or 4 different world events that I come across, but I did find myself doing the same ones over and over and over again. And like I mentioned earlier, that's what gave me the strong Defiance feel as far as the world goes. Because Defiance was the same way. He was doing the same world event over and over and over.
Right. And the enemies, I think they spawn pretty damn fast. Like, if you're standing in an area and you kill enemies and you stay in that area, have you guys had this problem where the enemies are just, like, right there, right back again?
I did. Especially when I found a new cool weapon or a piece of armor, I'm like, oh shit, what is that? Let me pause the game and try to equip this or something. By the time I'm pause the game, checking my character out, looking at what it is, I'm getting shot again because the enemies were back.
Right.
So yeah, on that note, I did feel that they spawned up a little bit quicker. What do you think about that, Ryan?
Well, I mean, they do spawn up quick, but like you guys were hinting at earlier, I'm not one to stay in one spot for very long, so it didn't really affect me too much. But I can also see the good side where if they're constantly spawning up like that and I'm constantly killing them, that's just more experience that I'm gaining for myself. So I don't have a problem with it.
Look at
they spawn up
over here, Mr. Optimistic. Bright side.
If you put it in front of me, I'll kill it.
That's a good point. That is a very good point, though. I mean, there's a lot of enemies go around, and I think the reason they do that is because they expect you to move on, so that way the next set of players, because we do see a bunch of randoms in areas where you're moved on, they're behind you, and they come up and they spawn up, so that way they still have something to kill, because you don't have to worry about, oh, there's 3 dickheads in front of us, let's wait our turn, so that way we have to wait for enemies to spawn up.
But don't that feel like you're on a roller coaster and you're waiting in line in that aspect? Like, oh shit, I just went on the roller coaster. Now someone else is.
Right. Well, no, I don't get that with Destiny. I don't get that with Destiny. Like Star Wars Online or something, the Old Republic that we play and stuff. I get that because you guys would fucking take me through a mission and stuff, and I have to wait my fucking turn just to get an objective. Where I don't have to deal with that shit on Destiny. It's not a line waiting thing. It's either you're all there and a bunch of randoms can kill the same enemies you are, or you're just moved on and they're still gonna have to kill the enemies because they're gonna spawn right back up and stuff. It's not an absolute hate. It's not. It's actually I still prefer it.
The game also does a pretty good job of breaking that up as well, because you'll go into them areas. I know it'll pop up and say respawn restricted. When that happens, it's taking you into a different phase than everybody else. So when everybody goes through there, they have their own set of enemies that they have to kill regardless.
Yeah, that's true.
Mean, there are things in place to break that up should it happen.
Now, see, that's surprising, and it's funny you say that because with the amount of people that's going to be on there, let's just say 2, 3 max in a fire team, they're all pretty much going into their own instance, much like how an MMO is. But there's no suffering to the connection whenever you go into an instance like that. And you got to consider how many people are going into these instances at one time. You would think, oh shit, there's going to be some kind of lag or latency, but I guess with dedicated servers, that doesn't happen. At least I didn't experience anything like that.
I haven't.
Yeah, I've seen people run into an instance. I've seen a whole fire team go in before me. And as I ran through, I had no lag, no loading, nothing. It was
seamless.
Smooth as silk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about loading real quick. I noticed there's really not too many loading screens. The only loading screen that I did, they added the whole, you have your ship and you're going to another area. What do you think about that?
The whole ship thing kind of just distracts you from the fact that you're on a loading screen, because you're sitting there going, oh shit, look at that ship, how'd he get that? I want that. And by the time you're done looking at the ship, you're there.
Exactly.
Yeah. But what I want to know is why even go into space to pick a mission? That's what I don't understand. If there's no space combat, or there's no ability of me going into Ryan's ship or Spaz's ship to check it out, why even put me in this spaceship that has nothing to do with the actual core game, just so I can pick a destination? Why not make that option at the tower, at a map or something? You know how you can see the map. Why not be able to go there, set my destination, and then have a cinematic or something where I'm in my ship going to that destination? I don't understand why they put us in orbit
Right.
to do that. It just makes no sense.
Why even give you... Oh, sorry, Rana.
If it's not part of the core game, I can see them probably coming out with a DLC, something like what Star Wars did, the Swatter, with the Galactic Starfighter, where it has a separate game mode to where you can fly the ship, kind of like an aerial battle in space, is probably the words I'm looking for, which I would actually welcome that. I think that would be a pretty cool add to the game.
That'd be like a third game, which would even be more fun. Because
I mean, just more content.
And too, like I if they don't put that in there, I also don't see the point of why do you even have the ability to buy another fucking ship? Like, it's just something to stare at.
It's
now,
like bragging rights, pretty much.
Sparrows, I understand, because you're using those. They have different abilities. Some go faster, some has more durability, some has different abilities in them. But the ship, to me, just makes no sense. It's just like something to waste your glimmer on, and it's like, oh, look at me! I'm Rhino. I got this little box ship.
Don't be hating on my legendary ship.
Look at me! I'm like that ultimate Tetris piece that you absolutely hate, and you got.
He looked like a piece of Voltron.
Exactly. Like it actually looked like a gym rat. Like small center and then like two big ass fucking arms.
My ship, when I had it, was called. Somebody called it a space bus. Somebody else called it a space taxi.
I called it the space taxi. It looks like a taxi off of fucking The Fifth Element.
Our good buddy Ace Gunner. I can't remember his gamer tag. I think it's Ace Gunner. Dave's gamer tag. He called it the space bus because of how square it was.
But see, what is even the point if I can't access that? You know what I mean? Why can't I get in your ship? Like it just seems like they just put that in there. I don't know if it's for loading purposes to help them give the seamless experience of going from this map to this map, or what it is. But it just seems like if it's doing nothing of that nature, I just feel like it's just added in there for no reason. That would probably be my only gripe for the game. But
it's like the rich fuck who buys a Ferrari. You can get to the same place in another car, but you just want to look flashy getting there. That's what it is.
But, I mean, before we end it, let's talk about what we want to see in Destiny when it actually comes out. Since we've given our thoughts, since we've given our opinions, let's give our outlook on the game, what we want to see in the final product or in DLC. Let's start off with you, Ryan.
I mean,
putting you on a spot, son. Putting you on that spot.
Yeah, put me on the spot. There's not much more right now that I could add that I haven't seen, other than being able to play around with my ship. Everything I've seen, I liked. I'm looking forward to playing it. Like I said, customization could be changed. Could go a little more in depth with that. I'd like a little more leeway with my guns. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with the product that they presented to me for the beta.
Okay,
definitely more exploration areas. I honestly can't tell you. I want to see more. Obviously, I said it already. I want trading, more character interaction with your friends. I definitely want that. I'm definitely gonna say I'd probably want. I really can't think of
Putting
it
you on
right
a
now.
spot too, bitch, ain't I? Putting you right on that spot.
Yeah, you did.
Well, Spaz is thinking. Let me pitch this idea while I'm thinking about it. You tell me if you think it's a good or a bad idea. Two humans tried to do vendors off of microtransactions with Microsoft points. They never actually did it. They had the vendors open, and you could see that they were accepting Microsoft points, but there was never any inventory in there to buy. But if Destiny was to do something like that, would you actually spend Microsoft points on gear or not?
No. If I'm spending any extra cash, the only DLC that I want to get are the maps. Whatever, the storyline. If there's going to be a storyline or a new something of that nature, new planet, that's
Let
what
me
I
ask you
would download. I would pay for that. But if it's going to be stupid microtransactions like, let's get a different camo on your gun, or here's a special camo for your what the fuck are they called, Spaz? Sparrows. Here's an exclusive Sparrow camo for only $4.99. No, and I will not support that because that is just nickel and dime. Look at Call of Duty. They took that concept and they fucking expanded it. And all those little, excuse my language, retards that play it, they just look at that and eat it up like, oh shit, I got Christmas theme, or oh, I got Hello Kitty. You know what I mean? It's brilliant for business.
You don't knock Hello Kitty.
You shut the hell up. I know you were rocking their underwear right now, but that's beside the point. It's brilliant on a business aspect, but I don't look at it as a business aspect. I said that in the one video that I made, Ryan, the $50 price tag on Last of Us. It's brilliant for a business to do that, but it's absolutely detrimental to gaming, the consumer, because if one company sees that company is doing it and they're doing it successful, it's just a matter of time before it becomes the normal in gaming, to where they're going to give you pretty much the disc for you to install, and you have to pay for everything else.
I actually think that they could coexist with each other, but we would have to show great restraint on our part to not buy everything they throw out. Because if you buy everything they throw out, then yes, obviously they're going to nickel and dime you and keep doing it, and it's only going to get worse. But if they start doing it and we show restraint and only buy things that we really legitimately want and not try to have everything, I think it could work.
But as gamers, come
I
on.
I agree with Rhino to an extent. Like, if it's something like a cool looking piece of armor, okay, where I could get and I could put the stats from another piece of armor into that one, and then keep reusing that. You know, kind of like how Star Wars plays, where you take out all the accessories and stuff, and it's basically an empty thing, but you can keep reusing that same piece of armor.
Mm-hmm. You mean like cosmetic? Kind of like what Guild Wars 2 did?
Yeah, or Star Wars even. Just like how I got that little mask and stuff. I could use that mask the whole time I had that game. Which is, to me, I spent my... Well, it was free because I had gems, but... Same thing, though. But, like, if it's something like that, I'll support it. But if it's something like, buy this right now, and... you'll get like a stat boost. If it goes to pay to win, I'm definitely against it. I can't stand it. But
I definitely see where you guys are coming from. You're saying if it's contained and it's managed properly, then it's definitely workable, flexible. But given console gamers, they're completely different from PC gamers. People that just play specifically on consoles are a lot different from PC gamers. You guys know that. We all know that. Everyone watching, they know this. So it's not going to be managed properly. People are just going to, now I'm not saying Bungie's going to do this, but I'm just saying it's a trend in gaming that if they show something out or they put something out and they see that people are eating it up, they're just going to keep doing that. Look at HD remixes. You know what I mean? You guys know my feelings that I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it 100%. It depends. It has to justify the game. But as far as like DLCs like that, I don't support it. I don't think I've bought one gun camo for Call of Duty. I don't remember. You guys remember me buying one?
No.
It was free. I got.
The one I own's the free one they gave, which I think's the Christmas one, because I wasn't paying for them. I did pay the $3 to get Arlie Ermy to announce the game to me. That was more just because I'm an Arlie Ermy fan than anything else. But I think that was $3 well spent.
You didn't get that Snoop Dogg?
No, fuck Snoop Dogg. Fuck him right in his dirty ass.
Hey,
Fuck
man.
Flanders pussy! I'm sorry, I had to.
That's right. No disrespect, Snoop Dogg, if you ever watch this.
Hey, it's Snoop Lion, isn't it?
No, I don't think. I don't know. But either way, my thoughts on it, what I want to see in the final product, since we completely skipped to me, you fucking bastard, you.
Oh, we stuck with the important stuff.
I know. Anyways, my thoughts, what I want to see is I definitely want to see a lot more customization out of the gate. And I do want to see a lot of the expansion in terms of maybe space combat. I want to see them, keep the momentum going, much like an MMO, because I think that's what they're aiming for. I definitely get that feel whenever I'm playing the game, that it's definitely MMO-esque. It's very MMO-inspired. So I just want to see that they make it, they do well with initial launch, which I'm sure they will, but continue to release content on a reasonable time. And they have everything they need to make that core DLC. They have their engine. They have all that shit built already. It's just a matter of creating new stuff. And it shouldn't be hard to do that. I mean, I know it takes a lot to make video games or whatnot, but that's what I'd want to see. I want to see longevity. I want to see them keep the momentum. That way I'm interested. That way I don't play it, get max level, and have nothing but repeatable daily missions to do. I don't want to do that, or multiplayer. I want the storyline to continue with new planets, new experiences, new galaxies possibly. I mean, it's almost endless. They have a really good concept. This could be the new Star Wars of this generation.
Since you mentioned the level in there, first I'm gonna ask you, do you know what the level cap's gonna be?
No, other than you just saying 20 is rumored or whatnot.
Well, I'm obviously hoping that you can go higher than level 20. But what I'm kind of hinting at is, assuming that there is a level cap, because I know some games don't have level caps, but I'm going to be 99% sure this one will. Every time they release DLC, they increase the level cap, kind of like what World of Warcraft does. I think that would be a great way to add the longevity to it to keep it going. And like you said, they're sitting on something big if they play their cards right.
There was another game that did that. And, it was Future Soldier. They did that too. They had a level cap. You hit 20. But then every time they came out with DLC and stuff, it also came out with extend your level cap up. Because they added new weapons and stuff. So, like, if they did something like that, it wouldn't be bad. Because Future Soldier did it pretty well too. And I don't know if Ryan would agree. But, like, to me, it worked very well. You got new weapons. And then you got another 10 levels to go. Every time a new DLC came out.
To play around and look for it. Oh, let me use this new gun and see how well it is, because now I have another 10 levels that I got to gain to be max level. So yeah, I mean, I hope they really go that route. I really do, because it's gonna have so much longevity, and the core people that like that type of stuff, they're gonna stick around for it. I mean, it's obvious. Look at all the MMOs that are successful. Look at World of Warcraft. Look at Guild Wars. I mean, the core people, if you provide a good experience to them, they're going to support you to the end. You know what I mean? So that's really what I look forward to. But I don't want... Go ahead.
World of Warcraft, I think, is the best example of that. I don't know what year offhand World of Warcraft started, but they still, to this day, have millions and millions of subscribers. Why? Because they're putting that content out. They're constantly updating their game. There's new things in it all the time. The world's changing, it's dynamic, which is what they say about Destiny, that the world's living, it's dynamic, always changing. So, I mean, everything's there. Now, this just did pop into my head right now. If you remember back when they first announced Destiny, they were talking about the mobile app letting you know your friends were under attack. Have you seen anything about that since then, or noticed anything about that?
No, but I do use the app just for the beta purposes. It does have a neat little feature, though. You could actually, like, say if you go to the tower map, you could check all of the merchants in the tower to see exactly what they are selling, and it even has a timer to let you know when that stock is going to be refreshed. which is really awesome. So you could actually be on Earth, and you could be stacking bodies, and you can just keep updated what's in the tower. Like, oh shit, hey, let's go to the tower right now because there's this piece of armor that looks really cool because it gives you all the stats, and it gives you how long that's available. So that's going to be useful too.
See, I feel that that's so MMO-esque. I mean, you're out there grinding to get that glimmer or whatever it is that you need, and then you have a timer, like you said. Oh shit, I only have X amount of time to do this. And now that you think of that, didn't they have that in Borderlands? They had a timer on special weapons or something like that. So I do get the feel there, but I honestly feel more that that's an MMO thing. So I think their plan is really. I think they're going to put a lot of stuff into this. They have, I think, the Activision deal with Bungie is 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, if they play their cards right with this, they may not need to make a Destiny 2. They might be able to just continue content on this game. And like when I say release content on a timely manner, like you guys said, if it's a big content patch that they release as part of the season pass or whatnot, let's just say it's let's say a new galaxy, because that's pretty big. You have multiple new planets and whatnot. So let's just say a new galaxy is one of the part of the DLCs. That's when the level cap goes up. And everything else in between, all the small DLCs, could be new planets, new moons. You know what I mean? And the level cap stays the same, but it's just a new area, new loot, new enemies. You know what I mean? I think, honestly, we can go on days talking about this shit because there's just so much potential, so much possibility for it. And I hope they go that route. That would be so fucking awesome. That game could probably last for the longevity of these consoles, in my opinion.
That would be record-breaking to me if they could take this game and have it last the entire length of the life of the generation.
That would be fucking epic.
And I think it could be done if they follow World of Warcraft's model. I think it could do it. If make the DLCs at a minimum as big as the DLCs for Grand Theft Auto 4 was, with the Ballad of Gay Tony and the Lost and the Damned. I don't mind paying for DLC that's that big. And like
as long as we actually get them, though, unlike Grand Theft Auto 5.
And I mean, even with the multiplayer. I mean, I was just talking about storyline, single player, and co-op. I wasn't even had a fucking notion of multiplayer, but that's a whole nother thing. I mean, there's so many.
Did you guys play? Did you guys play every single map?
I played every map that was available to me.
All right, because I played the Venus, the Moon, the water drain one, and that one that's on Earth, which is with all like the brick houses and buildings that's all fucked up and stuff. There was 4 maps in the beta. I played every single one, and so far every single map I really don't have a grade about. I mean,
I know one Ryan don't like. Oh, Ryan hates this fucking map.
Moon.
Yeah.
It's the moon, isn't it?
The fucking moon can go fuck itself.
You know what though? Going off of that, I bet you anybody can guess why he doesn't like it.
Vehicles.
Exactly. You know what? Let's go with the vehicles right now. Do you feel they're OP?
Yeah,
No.
they're fucking OP. When you go down the fucking A flag and they drive a pike right into the building, how are you supposed to fight a pike on foot?
I honestly don't think they're OP. I mean, I can use a scout rifle and I would say maybe 7 shots, and the shield to that vehicle is down. And I'm talking about the big one that they gave that was available on the moon. I can take that down in 7 shots, at least the shields. You know what I mean? So I don't think they're OP, but they're overused. I will say that.
It takes you 7 shots to just drop the shields. What happens when you pop the first shot? The fucker spins around and takes you out.
Well, if you're out in the open, yeah. Who's going to do that? Ryan.
If you're inside, it's even worse. A pike comes running through the doorway. You ain't got nowhere to go. He turns and kills you.
That's why you got to be strategic, man.
Now,
you
what
got to
about-
maneuver. You got to jump. You got to jetpack. You got to double jump. Whatever it is.
What about the fact that the vehicles don't really spawn as fast either? Like you blow one up and you're like, you know what? Fuck this. I need a vehicle. And you're looking around. There's no vehicles to be grabbed.
Well, you got to think. Are they all blown up? Because I've seen to where there's a whole, I went a whole entire game and there was no respawns of vehicles, but that was because when they started catching fire, people wouldn't use them anymore. Because you got to think, if you blow up on a vehicle, you're dead.
Yeah, true, very well.
So I would run around the map and see just like the little white symbols of, hey, you can jump on this vehicle. So I don't necessarily think they were blowing up for them to respawn.
You know what I really wish they would have included? And
Thank
this is
you.
what I loved about Halo, is the fact that I wish you could hijack. There's nothing like sneaking up against someone, fucking hopping on their vehicle, kicking them out the seat, turning that vehicle around, like, boom, explode in your face, bitch! You know?
Yeah, but if they did that, wouldn't you think that now they're really trying to recreate Halo in a different body?
Right, and I get that, but I'm not gonna lie, I attempted it. I did not succeed.
We'll leave that for Halo. We'll just leave, because Halo's still here. It's not like Halo died and is fucking buried somewhere. We got a new Halo coming out. We got the cheap collection. So I mean, I would say the reason why they didn't do that is to separate themselves.
And you did ask me what all I would want more into the game, and I finally figured out my other answer other than trading was again the party size. I really wish they just at least gave you the choice of having more people in your party. Because I'm sure there's something they can tinker around with that. If like you do have 6 people in Explorer mode, they could probably make the area a little more difficult. So that way it's not.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I know they can do that.
It's like in Diablo when somebody joins your game and says the minions of this world have become stronger.
Exactly. But I would love to see that. Now, yeah, I mean, I touched on the vehicles, and I mean, I'm pretty sure we're all going to get this game.
Oh yeah, this is day one, baby. This is GameStop's, staying up till 12 o'clock, fucking midnight release type shit right here.
I think I'm going probably tomorrow to trade my Xbox 360 and everything, switch my pre-order over to the special edition.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to trade in Watch Dogs. I'm going to trade in that shitty game that Rhino wanted to do a show about. Guys, this game's going to be great, guys. And then he got me to fall in love with this game, and I got this piece of shit. You know what? I wish it fit in my toilet. I'd flush it right now. That's where it needs to be. Fuck that game. That game is so stupid. Do not buy that game. If you listen to our show, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for telling you to buy that piece of shit.
I gotta say that I was disappointed in it. Just because Aiden Pierce is not an interesting person. I mean, he is nothing about him that's interesting. And the storyline to me was just bland. It's still sitting over here. Still sitting over here with NBA 2K14. Yeah, I mean, I have no notion to even pop it in and play it. I don't. So I'm most likely going to trade it in as well. I'm sorry, Wingy. I'm sorry. I know you guys don't know who I'm talking about, but Wingy's the guy that... Oh, you know. So you know Wingy Gaming, Rhino. Oh shit! See that? See, there you go, Wingy. I'm sure you're gonna watch this, but sorry, man. I have to get rid of it because I have no interest in it, and I know you're all about the open world shit. So I'm sorry. I gotta get rid of it.
Actually, I watched Wingy right before we started this.
Really?
About his IGN gonna give the Master Chief Collection a 10 out of 10.
Haha, shit. You see my comment? Me and Wingy about to have a video battle, son! I'm just fucking around.
I think Wingy will beat you.
He'll kick you in the chest for 30 days!
He might whip my ass.
But
anyway, anything else about Destiny?
Yeah, I just want to squash one thing first. Because this whole fucking console wars is getting on my nerves. People who are bitching and complaining, saying, boo-hoo, I'm not getting this game, they're biased on Sony. PlayStation 4 got the beta longer than we have. Dude, the reason they did that, what Bungie games are out for PlayStation?
Destiny.
That's it. They never had a game on Sony platforms. They gave them extra time so that way they can make sure it works properly. Sorry. They already know it works on Microsoft. We've been there, we've done that. It works fine. They did that just to make sure it works on all platforms, PC and Sony.
Here's the thing. Up until now, every game has been first on Xbox, first on Xbox. You can't win them all. It's eventually Sony's got to get something that comes out first. Okay, I understand that. Let them have their little moment in the sun, because we all know they're gay, and that's why they created the gay station.
You didn't even know about that till I showed you something.
Ray shot it. Oh my God. No, he did not. No,
Oh my goodness.
Keep going.
That's
Keep
a real
going.
thing, by the way. If you guys don't know, look it up. Google, IGN, GameSpot, whatever. Gay Station is to support gay rights and whatnot like that. They actually came out and are auctioning a PlayStation 4 called the Gay Station Edition. Crazy. Anyways, go right ahead, Ryan. Continue.
I
I'm
like
letting you know now we're not against that. So
all I can think about right now is how many haters I just got on YouTube for that comment.
This is coming from
Orlando's actions.
coming from the guy whose name is in purple on his video feed.
You wouldn't let me put my flag up behind me.
That's not purple. That's pink. That is pink.
Anyways, we're getting off topic here. What were we saying?
Anyways, to end this whole console wars though, the thing is, Bungie already knows they have the Xbox crowd. You have an Xbox, you played Halo. So you already know if you like Bungie.
They had stability, is pretty much what you're saying. They had stability on Microsoft Xbox
Exactly.
servers. They were uncharted territory.
Exactly. They have to get it out there to Sony to see if they're going to respond well to it.
But what do you guys feel about that 1 year gap of exclusive DLC on the PlayStation 4 for Destiny? You guys know about that?
I do not.
Yeah.
No.
PlayStation actually... no, I'm serious. Look it up. PS4 has a 1 year advantage, pretty much. A 1 year deal with exclusive DLC on the PlayStation 4. So they'll have it a year before we have it. How do you guys feel about that?
As long as the core game, there's enough there to last me or keep me interested for the year, I'd be alright with it. But like I said before, if it's not and I have to take a break and play something else until that year comes around, I'll do that. We, on the Xbox side, get exclusive everything and first everything, so it doesn't bother me that Sony's getting one.
I gotta say, I don't really care about it. As long as it, like you said, it doesn't fuck up my experience. I don't give a shit. I never gave a fuck when they first on Xbox One. I don't give a shit. That's not something I'm like, yeah. I don't give a shit. You know, it's a game. People are gonna play it. Deal with it. We have a year gap. So fucking what? Boo hoo! Look at the console war down there, guys. Look at them. They're pew 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 pew. They're going crazy in the comment sections.
Anyway, no, my reaction to that though would have to be this: as long as I don't have to wait a whole year for any DLC, I'm fine. Maybe if like they do one where it comes out for both, and then they have a PlayStation exclusive that we have to wait for, I'm fine with that. But if I have to wait a whole year for DLC, I'll be a little bit butthurt. But it's not gonna soil my experience.
You're gonna be butthurt. Butthurt, bitch.
If you think about it, making us wait that long, it's going to hurt them more than it hurts us. If you think about it.
Yeah, because how are the season pass sales going to go? If they're like, hey, while you're here, GameStop, and you're buying this brand new game, why not spend $25 to $60 for the season pass? Granted, you won't get anything for a year, but you can always buy it.
Hey, don't soil our boys at GameStop.
I just don't know how they're going to do it. I just don't know how they're going to do it. And I'm not just saying GameStop. I'm saying everywhere.
GameStop treats us well, though. There's got to be something to it to where you're not going to wait a whole year. I'm sure they're not going to do that. That's just...
Dude, I'm telling you, go look it up. It may not be the Season Pass DLC, but they have exclusive DLC for a year. Whether that's new skins or new whatever. They do have a deal.
Who gives a fuck? What about Soul Calibur? They come out with multi-platforms. Every single platform has a different special character in it. Did that really hurt my feelings?
Did it? When you couldn't play as Kratos on the Xbox?
No.
Because
I'd rather play it as Zelda, but I don't own a Wii because I rather...
Don't you say it!
What? Oh, you want me to go French on you? Wii? Yeah, I'd rather play with my Wii than play a Wii.
Are you Wii U mad?
Wii
U mad?
Wii U mad, bro?
But anyways, I think as long as you guys don't have anything else to wrap it up, I think we're pretty much done. I have said what I needed to say about Destiny. It's a great game. I am definitely getting it. Hands down.
Alright, before we go though, I just want to say I love you guys. And please just, everyone, just tune in more, like and share. Definitely.
He's talking to you guys, not us.
Like our views.
You got a gay station in your fucking room, Spaz? What the hell? No, I'm just playing. I'm not against. I'm not against any of that. I trust me. I'm not. I'm just fucking around.
Definitely got to send a shout out to our guys at GameStop because they're always treating us well, giving us the up-to-date information that we need. Make sure when you go to GameStop, you do their surveys at the bottom because it helps them out, and in turn, they help us out. It's like the circle of life.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
And we also got to send a shout out to Saggy Berries because we used his video at the beginning, and it was the most epic video I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it's one of the funniest videos I've seen in quite some time as well. And I got shown the video right before we went on air, so I mean it was pretty funny. So shout out to you, Saggy Berries. September 6th or 9th. Just for $60. This will not happen to you. Please support your Bungie game.
It doesn't work for you, Tommy.
It doesn't. Off topic, that's some fucked up shit. I mean, that's if the show's real, that's fucked up that we're laughing, but I mean, I'm sure everyone has laughed at that, you know. But anyways, it's been your boy, Tommy Dizzaster. It's been real. Everyone else sign off.
Spaz signing off right here. I'm going to play as a hunter, and I'm going to shoot you in the face with my golden gun.
Ryder Rancor signing out here. I'm going to shoot Spaz in the face with his own golden gun.
By the way, before we end it, if you want to play with us at all, just message Dizzaster Gaming. Let us know. We'll be more than happy to provide you with our gamers tags. Obviously, we have them displayed here. Ryan's is Rhino Rancor, Spaz, Local Spaz. I don't have mine up right now, but it's Tommy Knockout on Xbox One. Add us up. Just let us know. Hey, I seen you on YouTube. I want to play with you guys.
Also, we do have a clan called Dizzaster Gaming on Bungie's .com. You can go on.
If you want to be in the clan, let us know. We will bring you into the clan. If you have your own clan, let us know. We will alliance with that clan.
I'll say group, because three white dudes saying clan, I don't feel comfortable with that. If you want in this guild, we'll say guild. If you want in the guild, let us know.
All right. Later, guys. Have a good night.
Take it easy, guys.